encourage us. It will encourage us. Oh, wow, I'll be muted for a bit. My mouth is moving, and I just realized that my mic was not on. This is so funny. Okay, rewind rewind. So if you saw my mouth moving and I wasn't even realize that I was on mute. I was sharing earlier that welcome to Dr. G Empowerment Moment. It's always an opportunity to share and discuss and talk about some of the great things that is happening. I want to welcome those who joined me in the Zoom room. That actually was triggered me to realize I was muted. So if it sounds like I'm spastic, I'm still in the vacation mode, but I just pulled out of there. So I was just starting to talk about the importance of reflection, the importance of having devotion, the importance of having time to sit and think about the things that are meaningful. And for this month, one of the words that God dropped into my heart is the importance of worth. The importance of worth. So if you join me in the Zoom room, thank you so much for doing that. I'm so excited to have you join me. I'll throw some questions out there so you can throw it in the chat. If you're on Facebook or YouTube watching it, catching it later, you could also post it in there. But the word that got into my heart and I was meditating on is the word worth. The word worth. So worth is defined as value of something measured by its qualities or by the esteem in which it's held, right? So the synonyms can include merit, value, valuation, quality, prize, and treasure. So all these words connote something important, something valuable, something that's prized. And so the question is, how do we assess our value? In other words, how do we assess our worth? And the reason why I throw that question out there is that sometimes if we don't give some thought to what's important to us and what is valuable to us and what is worth, we may go along and drink the Kool-Aid that other people may have. And especially when you're taking care of a special needs person who people on appearance may not ascribe value or worth. So it is very important that we define that. And oftentimes I'll walk into a room and people will say to me, wow, you sound very confident or you look very confident. And I remember doing a training and one day somebody told me that if you want somebody to use certain adjectives to describe you, you have to make sure you carry yourself that way. So one of the things that I love to do is smile. And I realized that the smile has a way of just making me more, someone want to talk to me because I used to have a very serious face, very serious. It looked like I could be intimidating. And I'm like, I wasn't trying to be. But when I discovered how valuable I am and treated myself as valuable, it invites other people to also see my value. So the point here is knowing your worth will ensure that people treat you as valuable. And think about I don't get into like extra type of designer wear and things like that. But the other day I was reflecting about this particular topic, and somebody used the example of if you were to ever buy a Louis Vuitton handbag. Do you know that Louis Vuitton handbags are never on sale? No matter what you do. If you search on the internet, and if the real thing that is, they don't go on sale because it's so valuable. And the reason is that the designer took his time to create, test, and adjust the well-crafted trunk so that it expands into multiple handbags. So when somebody sees the real deal, they know, wow, you got the authentic one. And it means that you treat it and it's going to last. So the accessories and your clothing tend to last a lot longer because the creator of the Louis Vuitton creates the item with durability in mind, meaning that it wants it to last. So therefore, it's well handcrafted. Do you realize that you and I are handcrafted that way? Our children are handcrafted by the creator to ensure that we last for a long time and we are valuable. Hi, Pat. Thanks for joining me in here. So I was talking about Louis Vuitton and how that the designer ensures that the luggage pieces perform well. So you can own it, and for a very long time, it will last. And because he's not looking at the market to define the worth when he's creating it, he's putting and ensuring that there is value to that product. And that's the same way God looks at each and every one of us and our children. Human beings may not see them as valuable, but God sees them as what they can and can be. And oftentimes, because if we see the potential that's in them, we're more likely to put enough energy, and we're all more likely to keep looking for opportunities in different places to ensure we bring the best out of them. God created you and I with durability in mind, that no matter what we endure, whatever challenges we'll face in life, we have the capacity to endure. We have the capacity to keep going. The key point here is that we have to know that we have the value to stand. God knows our accomplishment before he even formed us in our mother's womb. He may see you, and you and I can look in the mirror and say, like, oh my God, I have this flaw. I look at my mouth, I was like, I have this gap in my teeth. I think it makes me look beautiful. Now I see it. When I was younger, I was like, oh my God.
Yes, it does.
Now, it's part of my beauty, right? I used to have you used to look at it, you have a pimple in your face, you're like, oh my God, I see this flaws. I'm just like, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I like myself.
My mother has gap too. I said, dang, how come she didn't give any of us? I wish I have it too.
Yeah, well, in America, when you have a gap in your teeth there, you look for the dentist to kind of put it together and like make sure that, but you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with what I have. But we all have something that we wish we can, it's not perfect. But the point here is that we don't let the little small imperfections take away from the fact that we're valuable. We're God's masterpiece. My husband is clapping his hands for me. Yeah, I know. You saw the value from the beginning. We're God's masterpiece.
Yes, Uncle Robert, we are.
we're God's masterpiece, created from a long time ago. And the reality is that we're going to face some times where things may not all seem 100%. It may not be 100%. On Sunday, my pastor was preaching and he was talking about the value of a $10. He took it out of his wallet, he crumpled it, threw it on the floor, and he said, does it just because it's crumpled doesn't change the fact that it's still worth $10? And it's true. Just because that child may be delayed in your speech does not make them any less valuable. Their worth is still there. So you and I need to put it in our mind, in our heart, that we are worth $1 million. We're worth like a diamond in the rough. Your child is worth a diamond in the rough. Your young adults may need extra support, may need strategies on conquering that math problem, deal with that issue, but they're worth. So the point here, and really what I wanted to communicate today, is the importance of appreciating our worth, because our God who created us see us as valuable. And I use the Louis Vuitton suitcase as an example, even a diamond. The reality is we are even worth more than those items. So anytime you start to say something negative about yourself, remind yourself that you're worth more than what you're seeing in front of you. When the child is doing something that's really driving you insane, when the spouse is saying something, when the parent is saying something, or even when a teacher is saying something, remind yourself you're valuable, you're worth it. And I can't say that enough, because the world may look at us and may write us off, but God never writes you off. So I have an affirmation that I think we need to jot it down, write it down, say, I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. For somebody out there listening to me, you may be listening to me later. You need to tell yourself, I'm worthy. I'm worthy because the creator who made me and my children see me as valuable. You and I are valuable. We're worth every bit of it. And it will surprise people for me to say this, but there was a time when I remember even finishing pharmacy school where I didn't even see myself as valuable in what I had accomplished. Why? Because life took me to a different trajectory than what I thought, right? I finished pharmacy school. I was intending to go straight and do a different type of programming. I had to take a little bit of a detour because of life happens. And during a season of my life, because I didn't accomplish what I thought needed to accomplish in my estimation, I didn't see myself as valuable. But the people around me, thank God for friends and family and a husband and family friends who see the value in me, who reminded me, like, you work so hard to get here. Just because things doesn't work out doesn't diminish your value. The very program, to God be the glory, I can say this, the very program that I had to pass by, which was a residency program, today I stand here and I'm not bragging that I'm a program director for a residency. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's only God. And I get to do it because I'm in an environment where the team saw that the skill set that I have and said, we need this done, and we can trust you to do it. The very pathway that I took a different pathway from is a very pathway that I get to be a part of shaping other people's life. And I'm sharing that because sometimes people will see us, you're seeing you and like, oh my gosh, you have it all together. It didn't always seem that way. So the point here is, it is important to remind yourself that you and I, that we're valuable. There may be seasons in life where you might have to adjust some things, but you're worth it. So you are an amazing gift. You and I are an amazing gift. Our kids are an amazing gift. And because of this, our value does not decrease based on an inability of the world to see our worth. So I want you to see your worth. I want you to see your worth in your child. I want you to see your worth in every aspect of your work, whether it's ministry work or whatever you do, see your value. So I think my flaws are fantastic. I want you to see your flaws are fantastic. I won't compare myself to anybody else. I tell my kids all this all the time. Compare yourself to your best self. And you're going to push yourself to keep going. And remember, you and I are fearfully and wonderfully made by the creator of the universe, of the world. And he's called us to be worthy. We're worthy of his love. We're worthy of him. So remember, we are God's masterpiece. I'm going to throw a scripture at you, Ephesians 2:10. You and I are God's masterpiece. That's a piece of art. He created us in Christ Jesus so we can do good things that he planned for us to do long ago. I get to do stuff like this today because I now know that despite the challenges that Nicholas had today, out of his work, out of his life, I get to talk to millions of people through social media, of course, and around the world, and share my story. And you can do the same too. These days, anybody and everybody. Sister Pat, we saw Ronke do her podcast. So I'm waiting for you for yours. I'm waiting for you to also do yours. So because God has something in store for you and Michael, I know that there is so much that your life story is going to mean for others. So remember, I also list another scripture, Luke 12:7 says, the very hairs on your head are numbered. That means that everything about you is special, that is numbering. So don't be afraid. You are more valuable to God than even the sparrows, which are the birds, right? And you are worth so much, so much. So I know, and Michael also joined us in the Zoom room today. If you're able to also log in and tell us where you're joining us from. I hope this inspires and encourages you somehow. I am a firm believer that words have power. Words have power. So if you're listening to me, I want you to write it down and say, I am worthy. I am valuable. My children are valuable. My family is valuable. My work is valuable. My destiny is before me. I can make a change in this world because I am valuable. I am worthy. My creator created me to be fearfully, created me wonderfully, a difference in this world. And so no matter what the challenges your child may have right now, it doesn't mean that they are not going to do great things. Which brings me, I'm super excited about gala this year. My goal, so this is my goal. My goal is to support families facing autism and other intellectual disabilities throughout their lifetime. And as part of the journey coming together as family and friends, we have an annual event, and we're going to have it on Save the Day, Saturday, November 4th. And one of my guest speakers is going to be Akil, whose mom is Manisha. Akil's story is really fantastic. I'm really excited and wanting to feature him. And we have some surprise guests joining us as well too. So I am just so excited. I see Lisa joining us in the room. So I'm super excited about that. But I also want to announce that next Thursday, August 10th, is our social hour. So for our families, join us. We come together, we connect, we share, we chat, we do life together. We do it together. Don't do it by yourself, please. Don't do life alone. You're intended to be part of a community, intended to be part of people walking a journey. And if you're lonely, join me in the Zoom room Thursday, August 10th. If you are wanting to log on, go on our website or send us an email at info@mygoalinc.org. We'll send you the link for the Zoom. Saturday, August 12th, Lisa, I'm glad you're here. August 12th, I know 2 o'clock and after, we're going to have a summer picnic and swimming. Anybody and everybody join us for that day. We moved it to Saturdays because of the location that is able to host us. And of course, we want to be able to come together. So, and then lastly, I am so super pleased to announce, thank you for all our donors, supporters. We have been able to support 25 families across the continental United States with $1,000 each, for the total of $25,000. I felt like Santa Claus going to the post office and mailing these checks out. And the stories of these families are compelling. We have families that have 3 children on the autism spectrum, some that have 2, some that have 1, and the needs are just so basic stuff that they're asking for. And this organization was established to support families and create connections and provide resources. And we're so pleased to be able to do that. And we do it because of all of you. Each one of you who donated $1, donate $25, donate $50, donate $1,000. God bless you from the bottom of our heart. Thank you for entrusting my goal as the tool to get these resources into the hands of these families. God appreciates you. Yeah, Lisa, I know. Every day, every time I start to get kind of saying, I don't know how long I'm going to keep doing my goal, I am inspired by each one of you who send a text or say hello or, remind me that truly we form a community. And we're able to kind of put a smile on somebody's face. We're able to inspire someone. We're able to encourage someone. We're able to pray for people who are walking a journey that can always be sometimes could be very hard. And I just want to love on you all and say thank you so much for being a part of my goal and supporting us and encouraging us. And we're just super excited that we could be a part of all these families across the world. Haven International families, thank you all for the work that you do. God bless you. And I just want to just say thank you, thank you, thank you. You could tell, I mean, my heart is so full. I can't say enough. My heart is full because when I reread these letters, and I have an amazing grant committee. So we were going to be posting that on social media to let people know that the funds have been dispersed. The grant committee members worked tirelessly to read through all these applications and be able to kind of support the families that they could. We couldn't give it to everybody, but we just want to continue to be able to be a blessing. And so if you're listening to us, thank you. And you supported us, and you donated, and you gave us, please know that the resources went to where they're supposed to go to. We'll be sharing some of the video stories because the families were gracious enough to tell us their stories. And so I want to say that to everyone. So before you join us, I was just sharing how my community a blessing, many families and friends. Tonight the word was, you are worth something. Get your worth. Never get your worth. So I'm praying this word encourages you, inspired you, someone, cause you to be moved to share the message on, tell somebody about it, tell them that they're worthy, they are valuable, they're special. That's my assignment for you. So hopefully that it encourages you. And I want to say I love you all. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And so for Pat and Robert and all of you guys who are part of the My Go family, please save the date, August 12th, August 10th, and then join us here. All right. So thank you all and have a great night. Love you. See y'all later. See you later. Bye. Lisa to be the same days that we did the last time. All right, thank you. Bye. I'll text you. All right, bye.